Yo, 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 what's good, y'all? Just wanted to break this down real quick. As you're walking in, as you're about to see this video, please like and leave a comment if you can. I just wanted to give some clarity on what I've researched and what I've seen on the internet, what I've been reading, and give you guys a little bit of a different perspective, maybe a little bit more down the line. I have my opinion, but it's not really that big of an opinion. It's just me stating what I think on some of the details that is going on with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. So I'm gonna read off this article, and I'll be breaking down certain parts of the article, and then at the end I'll give my opinion. So it says right here, Devin Haney has requested that the New York State Athletic Commission disqualifies Ryan Garcia following his April 20th majority decision triumph in bout later stained by Garcia's positive test result for a banned performance enhancing substance. Haney's attorney, in an 8-page letter to the commission, top two directors, its chief medical officer and lead attorney, offered precedent for the move and detailed why his request is justified. Such a ruling would establish Haney as the winner of the bout and not just a participant in an event with no outcome. If disqualified, Garcia will receive a loss. There's a blemish on Mr. Haney's record. English wrote in the letter he was placed in an unsafe fight under uh, New York State Athletic Commission jurisdiction. The bout was made a mockery, and in addition to the PED use and prohibited use of IVs after the bout, Mr. Garcia admitted that that missing weight was a tactic to give him an unfair advantage, as there was no second day weigh-in required by commission. Thus, it is impossible to know what weight he weighed on fight night. This is why, after seeing forth the facts below, we request that Mr. Garcia is disqualified, which is more fitting than no contest in this situation. The VADA reported earlier this month that Garcia tested positive for the banned substance ostarine on the day of before and the day of the bout, and a bombshell that capped erratic behavior by Garcia, 25, leading up to the fight before he weighed in more than 3 pounds over 140 weight limit. Garcia, who knocked down, blah, 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 blah. Okay. An inside job, meaning someone tainted his sample. I don't know about that. Garcia has requested uh, a testing B sample and result due to May 22nd. We're getting close. Yeah, they're just making an example of what happened in the past with a different fighter, with Butte and Baru Jack. Yeah, so right around here is when I have parts of a take right here. I didn't know that they were trying to get a W on their resume, so that's interesting. Let me read right here. Representatives of Mr. Garcia have publicly suggested that ostarine was found in trace amounts. In fact, while there are a couple commissions in the United States which permit trace amounts of ostarine, New York WADA and VADA are not among them. The sample quantities were 35 to 60 times the amount considered in those jurisdictions to be a trace amounts. There was a video on YouTube of Garcia taking fluid. It says yellowish tinge through an IV. Writing IVs are well-known way to avoid positive drug tests as they dilute the urine. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's conversations out right now regarding IV usage from Garcia and his team. Another quote here says, adding insult to the commission and to the sport of boxing, Mr. Garcia has alleged that he was high as F during his bout with Mr. Haney. This clearly brings this disrepute on the sport of boxing and by derivation on the New York State Athletics Commission. Ostarine is specifically listed as a prohibited performance. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and IV is expressly prohibited. Intentionally coming in overweight is a violation. Okay. In this context, the commission has full authority to issue a disqualification that would change to the bout to a win for Mr. Haney by disqualification. On behalf of Mr. Haney, we request a change in addition to such suspension as deemed appropriate by the commission. All right, so my view hasn't changed because I didn't read this, but I did some research. And shout out to Showbiz the Adult. If you haven't checked out his video, you should check it out because he broke down some things that were pretty important as well. There were some policy issues with the fight regarding the testing and whatnot. So when it comes down to the testing, um, VADA testing usually comes in and tests throughout the camp for any fight that is sanctioned when it comes to title fights. WBC, most of those belts use VADA. Okay. This is my perception. This is from what I researched and what I have learned. Um, but yeah, and the biggest issue is that once Ryan came in at 143, there was no belt on the line. So basically, VADA got paid to do something that technically they weren't supposed to do because there was no belt on the line anymore, or at the time of Ryan coming in at 143. I don't know about the second weigh in. That's interesting as well. These things, um, when they come out, it's very interesting because the thing is, it's like two different fights going on. You know what I'm saying? Two different camps, and then also the NYA commission also has their own policies. So from my experience and what I'm been looking at online as well, when it comes to like New York State Commission or Vegas or Texas, they usually only test one time, and that's right before the fight, and then that's it. If there's no bet on the line, that's how it usually goes. Um, but being that there was a belt on the line, VADA tested more than once. So that's separate right there. Obviously people have their opinion about Victor Conte. That's not. I'm not even discussing that right now. You guys can research that all you want, but I'm just trying to give you guys the facts on what could happen and what is most likely going to happen and what is going on with Devin Haney. Devin Haney right now is saying, "Hey, New York State Athletic Commission, you guys didn't drug test Ryan." But the problem is that VADA had to test Ryan because there was a belt on the line, and it wasn't until the last few hours that they didn't think the fight was going to be a title fight. So, they don't have that much fault here, but at the end of the day, Devin Haney does have a case. Things could have been rearranged and changed, but those things didn't happen. I really do think that the 1.5 million that Devin Haney took from Ryan kind of jacked things up because that was kind of like a mano kind of deal where it's like, hey, you said you were going to come in, you didn't, now pay up. Boom. It was more like a mano thing. It's going down. Forget about the weight, forget about the belt. Let's just fight. Let's just make it happen. Let's make the fans happy. This whole scratching the fight in itself or like to a no contest, that to me was a little more on the fair side because it was closer to being like messy, like a messy kind of fight. Like altogether on paper, it just looked like a mess. And then obviously the fans lost on this. They paid for this. They were invested. They were listening to Ryan. They were listening to Devin. Whether it comes down to pay per view or seats, they lost out on it, and there wasn't a formal winner. You know what I'm saying? Streetwise, I still think that Ryan is the ultimate winner here because he doesn't look as tainted as Devin. Devin has issues with his past, with his record and whatnot. Some people don't give him the win for Lomachenko when he fought Lomachenko. Some people think that he was the email champion before all of this. So then he's getting a lot of criticism, and a lot of people don't like the way Devin Haney's been moving. I myself think that he is still somewhat of a champion, being that he's defended his title a couple times. He actually went to Australia and beat Cambosis, and he beat Regis. So at the very least, he should be considered a champion. But the undisputed thing is is worth a dispute. It's worth an argument. I totally agree with you guys when it comes to that. And then with Ryan Garcia, being that he didn't pop for a crazy amount of steroids, you know, I think on the streets people will still say, nah, he looks like he's a clean fighter. There's two sides to that. So there's some rumors. I not just rumors, but like there was also an interview with someone that came into Ryan's camp to help out Ryan lose weight within 11 hours. What the guy said was that he was helping Ryan and he lost a good amount of weight in a little amount of time. And then once he got to 143, Ryan was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do anymore. You know what I'm saying? But there's also rumors that whatever pills or whatever stuff he gave Ryan had some stuff in it. And that's how the ostarine and all that other stuff popped up. I don't think that is a big deal because obviously people are talking about the amount that was caught in the testing and whatnot. Also, the B sample is very much like the A sample. It's just split into two tubes and then they just do it again and he's probably going to pop for steroids again. Um it's it's not anything crazy. It's just the thing is that how Devin Haney's being perceived and how angry he is because he thinks that Nevada State Commission should have done something. But at the max, they weren't gonna stop the fight. Like it was just too soon. And he might have an argument there on paper. But going back to Ryan Garcia and him coming in at 143, I really think that the other side of it is that he came in at 143. He took all the tests. So, all right, he won the fight. The biggest issue with him is that he didn't get the belt. You know what I'm saying? And he's not mad about that. So he's moving on. And I think that on his behalf, he's pretty mature for that. I don't like his antics right now. I don't like how he's talking right now. I don't like that he keeps calling out everybody. But he's still moving the sport in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And he's a good fighter. He's always been a good kid until the antics started. Forget about that. That's just my opinion. But when it comes to him fighting Devin Haney, even though he came in at 143, he was tested throughout the camp. So if on paper he would have just fought Devin Haney with no belt, he would have only got tested one time, and he would have got away with whatever Devin Haney is saying, and he still would have beat Devin because obviously he beat him like decisively, and there would have been more, less for Devin to say. You know what I'm saying? But being that it happened the way it did, and he got tested throughout the camp, it's like he's even more clean than he would have been if he would have not had the belt on the line. So I just don't think Devin has a case when it comes to the streets, to the boxing world, to the boxing community, to the people that work 9 to 5s and pay, to watch these fights and are invested in whatnot. Devin Haney's reputation is going down. I've been looking at his little community stuff and they're trolling him in his own community. You know what I'm saying? Uh, there are some sections of YouTube and TikTok that are saying that, Ryan, it looks like he has like roid rage. That could be the case. But at the end of the day, technically on paper, it doesn't matter. Like he didn't pop in a sense where he's juicing to the gills. You know what I'm saying? So, this is going to end messy. It's gonna be the fight of the year in a different way, not in an actual fight of the year where you can replay it and enjoy it and actually be proud of both fighters. Is gonna be in a very very messy way. These guys are both entitled. Both guys uh, have a resume, but then they've also fought many many times in the past when it comes to their amateur careers and whatnot. And like I said, with all this stuff going on, it's just gonna be he say, back and forth. You know, right now on paper, I think Devin is taking it a little too far. You know, he's going a little too far. I feel like the no contest is just that's good enough. You know, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope I hit all the points that you guys needed to figure out what was going on. But that 1.5, in my opinion, I think that's where Devin lost his business sense. He thought, oh, I'm getting 1.5 and I'm going to beat this guy either way. But when you have that confidence like that and then you lose, you got to lick your own wounds and just move on, bro. You can't go start blaming everybody. But the thing is, on paper, he does have a case, but I just don't think it's worth it. I think in that moment when Ryan said, you know what, I'm going to give you that 1.5, he should have said, you know what, I don't even care about it right now. I have other things on my mind because I'm hearing this and I'm hearing that because I'm pretty sure he was hearing in the camps what was going on with Ryan and he still ignored it. He didn't pay attention. He was more focused on the money and he was thinking that he was going to win the fight. And that's what his main mistake was. I've I've seen and posted quotes from his team about things like that. And if you guys don't think the 3 pounds at that weight class, at that division, and down that division doesn't matter, then you're highly mistaken. There's literally two divisions that are 3 pounds away from each other: 112, 115. And then also there's 115 and 118. You know what I'm saying? You got 126 and 130. That's 4 pounds away. It does matter. It does. It's not a huge advantage. And I'm not saying that Devin Haney couldn't figure out a way to beat Ryan when it comes to the weight difference. He just didn't look good and he got destroyed when it comes to his defense and everything. Everything that he was strategizing and put together, it just didn't work. But to be complaining about it, that's one thing. But for the other team to be like, yo, it's just 3 pounds, I just feel like both guys are kind of both teams, both like, fan bases are kind of going at each other and they're not seeing the small details and how it looks from the outside. And for some of the hardcores that are just paying attention to the details and not jumping to conclusions for everything, we see it like, wow, there's a lot of information with this fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of key points. And I think boxing is going to have to learn from this. At times it feels like a sideshow, that it's just a little too crazy. So I try not to think about it. I'm also going to be dropping a breakdown for my prediction for the Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. I hope you guys tune in, subscribe, like, comment. You already know. Let's try to keep boxing alive. And I'm out. Peace.